Rawr!
Ew.
Hello and welcome to Pony&Wolf Productions. I am Midnight, and today we shall be reading Words Never Said, written by Alabenson. Alabenson. As always, these are amazing Patreons. Link is in the description if you wish to join, and it does give us a little bit of a helping hand. So thank you. Now, shall we get to it? There were a definite hooful of perks to growing elderly, at least as far as Granny Smith was concerned. Certainly the aches and pains, and general decrepitness that came with old age, were all things that she could do without. And then there was the issue of her elder granddaughter, treating her as though she were made of glass. But there were upsides too. For example, the fact that Granny Smith could reliably sit on the porch of the Apple family home and enjoy the sight of the sun sinking beneath the horizon of their orchard without any pony bothering her. At least, that was usually the case. This particular evening, no sooner had Granny Smith settled into her rocking chair than the familiar figure of Grandpère came walking up the path towards her. "Evening, Granny Smith," the elderly pair greeted her as he approached. "Evening, Grandpère," Granny Smith replied, not bothering to get up from her rocking chair. "Guess you're here to visit the Grandfoals. Well, Big Macintosh is off somewhere with that unicorn filly he's been courting, and Applebloom's gone crusading with those two friends of hers. Not rightly sure what that means, exactly. But it seems to be involved in helping ponies, so I'm not complaining." "That's two. What about Applejack?" Grandpère asked. "Well, I saw Applejack. She was headed out to the market. Of course, that was this morning, so Celestia knows what she's doing now. Might still be at the market. Or maybe she got called to sell some nonsense with those friends of hers." Granny Smith let out a sigh as she continued to slowly rock back and forth in her chair. "Likely as not she and her sister will be home before long. Can't say for sure about Big Macintosh, though," Granny Smith added with a chuckle. "The way things have been going, I wouldn't be surprised if we got to see our great-grandfoals. Meantime, I'm just sitting here watching the sunset till they get home so we can start supper." "Would you mind if I joined you?" Grandpère asked. "Suit yourself," Granny Smith said. Grandpère proceeded to climb up onto the porch and seated himself on a chair nearby, next to Granny Smith. A few minutes of silence passed as the two formal rivals sat and watched the sun approach the tops of the orchard, before Grandpère finally spoke up again. "Our Grandfoals turned out pretty well, didn't they?" Grandpère said finally. Granny Smith simply nodded her head on this, as if it was something so obvious it didn't warrant a reply. A few more minutes passed before Grandpère spoke up again. "Granny Smith, there is something you know what, it's not important." "Dang it, prickly player! Just spit it out, whatever it is you want to say," Granny Smith snapped irritably. Grandpère let out a sigh and closed his eyes. "It's just, I wanted to thank you for taking such good care of Pear Butter after everything that happened." "That ain't anything you need to thank me for," Granny Smith insisted. Grandpère, however, wasn't going to take no for an answer. "Yes, it is. Before I came back, I talked with the family I had that stayed in touch with Pear Butter. Every last pony told me how you'd done everything in your power to make her feel as loved and as part of the family as you could. And after the way our families had been at each other's throats over the years, I don't know if I've been able to do the same in your horseshoes. I guess I just want to thank you for being the better pony." "For the last time, Grandpère, I wasn't the better pony. Not really, so you can stop thanking me," Granny Smith protested. "But you were," Grandpère argued. "When we saw our foals were in love, that they were ready to spend the rest of their lives together, you embraced that love while I..." Grandpa's words started to fail him as he recalled the single worst mistake in his long life. And I'd have done the same darn fool thing, or close to it if you hadn't beaten me to it, Granny Smith snapped. Grandpa could only stare in shock as Granny Smith looked down ashamedly. I was all set to disown my own son when I heard you giving your daughter your ultimatum. Right then at that moment I felt like I was staring at my own reflection. And I hated the pony staring back at me. Then when Pear Butter looked at you all eyes and said she'd rather give up being her kin than leave the stallion she loved, I realized that what a darn angry fool I'd been all these years. Our fools had found something truly beautiful. And there, I was ready to tear it all down for some worthless food. That's why there ain't no cause to thank me, or tell me I was a better pony. I was every bit as rotten as you all. I just realized it a bit sooner is all. The two elderly ponies sat together in silence for several minutes after Granny Smith finished her confession, letting what had just been said sink in. Eventually, Grandpa broke the silence. I'm still gonna thank you, you old crabapple. Grandpa let out a deep sigh. We're really just a couple old fools, aren't we? Well, we're getting wiser, bit by bit. Better late than never, as my pa always said. Granny Smith agreed. Still, may as well look on the bright side. We got 3 grandfoals who are wiser than we are. Conson it! Strawberry Sunrise, I'm gonna get you for this if the last thing I do! Applejack's enraged screams echoed through the air, startling several flocks of birds into the air. Well, we got 2 grandfoals who are wiser than us at any rate, Granny Smith concluded. Applejack's a good mare, but she's thicker than molasses at times. She'll learn eventually, Grandpa assured her. After all, we did. I must say I like this. I kinda wish we did have some sort of resolution like this at the end of that episode. And I'd have to admit, Applejack is as stubborn as molasses. And it's very, very likely that if Grandpa hadn't said it first, I think Granny Smith would have done something similar. Or at the very least, said more that would have definitely hurt Big Mac. Not Big Mac. Damn it! I cannot remember her son's name. Either way, I like this story. Sweet, nice resolution, and a funny end. That was Words Never Said, written by Alabenson. Stay safe, everyone, and keep watching that moon. Bye!